Okay, something's being lifted, released, and washed away. Hi, welcome. I don't know what this reading is about. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. My name is Vanessa. And if you are returning, very warm welcome back to you. Thank you for being here. So, there's a lot of cycles coming to an end, seasons changing, weather patterns changing. I don't know if you can hear all the sirens, like there's like ambulance in the background. And the wind picked up. Right before I went to press record here, the wind picked up so intensely that it sounded like it was beginning to pour down rain. And as I glanced here out the window, I saw all of these leaves being like a wind tornado or a little wind cycle came through and lifted all of these leaves up. Wow, those sirens are getting louder and closer. I hope everything's fine. Okay, I hope everything's okay. But you could be going through it. You could really be you're finding yourself in a scenario or situation currently. And if this is for you, this won't be like a shock or a surprise, right? I'm not trying to scare anyone, but like you would know, like there's something that you're alarmed by. There's something alarming happening around you. Your inner alarm bells are going off. It's the same thing as that red flag in a way, but instead of it being a visual, it's an auditory. Oh, interesting. I really was wondering about this ear chakra card. So the wind's lifting up these dead leaves and defying gravity came into my head. And I'm like, I'm not trying to have a wicked moment, but I'm like, defying gravity. It's like, of course, playing through my mind right then in that moment. And now again, and you're welcome. Now it will be stuck in your head. But hey, with that song and that feeling of things like gravity, being defied in a way. Like I've seen a lot of dying leaves. I'm in the Pacific Northwest and the leaves are changing colors. This is the first time, if I've been here in October, it was 22 years ago. I don't remember it. So this is my first time here in October and I'm seeing the leaves just continue to change colors. It's really beautiful. A lot of pine trees up here, but there are a lot of trees that shift from green to red or green to gold to red or whatever. So while I've been here, because I've been here for a bit, I've seen a lot of leaves falling from the trees. Falling down. Dying. Down back to the earth to decompose. A cycle. It's autumn, this a natural progression of things, if you will. So to see all these dead leaves being like, and the sky, they were just fluttering up everywhere. So defying gravity. So anyway, again, the ear chakras. And prior to this message, because I said I didn't know what any of this was about, right? I started that off a few minutes ago. That was a little bit of a lie. Not really, but earlier, maybe 20, 30 minutes ago, I was listening to music and thinking about this reading and going, okay, I want to open up and receive the channeled messages that I'm supposed to. And I was about to turn on the television prior to that. And I thought, nah. said, instead, let's put on music. Because I thought about maybe listening to like a podcast or an audiobook. And I heard, no, put on music, because the message around hearing like the clairaudience and getting messages through music is something to talk about or to share. I kind of honestly forgot about it. It was 30 minutes ago or so. And then, you know, the defying gravity moment happened, and then it started to rain for a second, which was me talking about things like things are being lifted and released and then washed away. You go back a few minutes ago, I said that because the rain had just started again, but it stopped immediately. And that's when all the sirens began. This collective, you, 555 on the clock when I shimmied. There's so much change happening. There's just so much going on that even if there isn't necessarily something happening where there's like alarm bells or sirens going off or blaring, or you're in like an alarming situation. Oh shoot, that message left. It'll come back if it's meant to. It's more that it doesn't necessarily have to mean that there's anything really scary or alarming happening. It's more that you're almost like hyper aware of all of the different messages that you're receiving at this time. You could, in a way, feel a little bit like overwhelmed or bombarded by your spiritual gifts growing. I was also getting that you're releasing some old cycles and loops that were inherited, that were ancestral. And I just heard it's about time. So again, a lot of transmutation happening, and there's a lot more clairaudience happening for you. What is this card that came out? The Apprentice of Stones. This is the Page of Pentacles. There's something that you're working on, that you're manifesting, that you're creating. It probably does have a lot to do with finances. Could be because you want to help out your parents and pass things on because they're getting older, or you want to make sure that your children are being taken care of, or there's something around like bringing in financial abundance as a thank you / to take care of others that you care about. So there's something that you've been building, there's something that you've been creating, there's something that you've been actually really working very hard on. And it's a slow and steady energy that wins the race. There's a lot of skill set here, but you're not a master yet. So you're still learning. What is this message about, sir? Okay. Gosh, this message feels like there's something coming in that you aren't even aware of. That's actually really beautiful. It's a lot of King of Cups energy after Three of Swords. So after heartbreak, after pain, after a separation with someone that you cared very deeply for, a new person enters. And so there also could be an ending of a cycle happening in a romantic sense, as you're also just continuing to focus on what you're building in your career and your spiritual gifts, and your clairaudience are picking up a lot, transmuting all this ancestral stuff. You're not thinking about love. And then as you process pain and you heal your heart and you do all these things and you move from the Three of Swords to the Four of Swords energy, which is that more like meditation and rest and healing energy. Love comes in. For me, this message feels like like there's a visual like blinder on, like blocking me from seeing. But it feels like it's it feels okay. It feels like it's a pleasant surprise that's coming. This is nothing to be concerned about, but it's almost like, hey, where are the sirens coming in for me with this? I'm gonna be like, hey, we're giving you like a really clear warning. Something's coming, because with sirens, I think of bad things. But the energy around this feels like it's good. It's like you're so concerned around focusing on what you're focusing on, but also being open to receive information. That you're like, yeah, hyper vigilant in some ways. Like, oh God, this is a really weird message. 3 of Cups. That's your, yeah, more. Okay, that's your advice, is the 3 of Cups. Your advice is the 3 of Cups. To have a little bit more fun. To socialize. To connect with others. In like a heartfelt, joyful way. The thing that okay, here's what this is. So the thing that I don't like about this message is that I want to say to Spirit, like, oh, all right, like, what is this about already? Like, I feel like I'm kind of getting distracted by this message right now. Like, let me just keep on working. And that's kind of like the message around this. It's not necessarily that you need to stop, keep on like focusing on what you're focusing on. It's that there is something, and I'm seeing the 4 of Cups card with the person or I guess in some depictions they're reaching for that cup that's out of the way, and there's the 3 cups there. For some people, the cup is being offered to them, but they're not seeing it, and they're just focusing on the 3 of Cups, which is this advice card. I feel like there's just this message is one from Spirit saying, like, just giving you a little friendly nudge, tap on your shoulder, something's coming, that we have a surprise for you. And for me and my energy, I like nice surprises. I'm not that type of girl that's like, I need to figure out what the surprise is. If I'm dating someone and they have a surprise for me, I'm not the one that's like trying to find out what it is. No, I love that. I'd be like, cool, surprise me. Yeah, I like that. I like pleasant surprises. I don't really love for someone to try to like tease it. And that's kind of the feeling I'm getting with this from Spirit. And it's like, no offense, either way, I'm not mad. And please don't take it that way. You guys even listening to this, it's more of just a like, this is the energy I'm feeling for you at the moment. And also even just literally in this message. And this message is like acting out the message where I'm like, okay, thanks for letting me know you're going to surprise me. Like, I had an ex-boyfriend who told me he had a surprise for me and made sure that my calendar was open for the specific date. This was years ago. Funny thing is, before he and I started dating, I knew that Jason Mraz was going to be playing at the concert arena in my hometown on that date. And I was manifesting going. I wasn't going to buy a ticket, but I knew that I was going to go to that concert. So months fast forward and I'm dating this person and they say to me, hey, make sure your calendar, I want you to be like free that night because I'm surprising you. And I knew, because what are the chances? And they know that I really like Jason Mraz. And in a way, I was a little bit bummed that I knew that they were going to surprise me, because without trying to figure it out, I just already kind of figured it out. And so I just acted like I never figured it out and acted surprised, because I wanted them to feel happy and excited that I was so happy and surprised, because I do like a good surprise, but I wasn't surprised. And so in that sense, There are tactics involved, you know, maybe I had been busy that night, he wanted to make sure I look at my calendar for you. I get it. But in that circumstance, and this is my, like, feeling in this message from Spirit telling me, like, nudge, nudge, something good is happening, just so you know. I'm almost like, as a maybe recipient of the same message, being like, don't tell me. Just let me get surprised. Let me stay focused. Because now I'm almost like going to be distracted by the like, ooh, what's happening? Side tangent message coming through also, like for you, like listening to a bunch of readers on YouTube, like by all means, oh my God, I listen to so many readers on YouTube and I love it. But one thing that happened for me when I was really beginning to, when I had access to all of these amazing readers for free through YouTube, because back before YouTube, you'd have to, I mean, you still can go places and pay for each session, but like, that's it. You don't just have access to free readings. This is super cool. Shoot. I found it again. Oh my God. This message is driving me a little bit insane. Sorry, guys. The reason why you're being told a surprise is coming is not so that it annoys you or distracts you from staying focused on what you're focused on. It's to make sure that you don't completely go blind, like the Four of Cups, where you're looking at the Three of Cups. You're so hyper-focused on the Three of Cups, you don't see that Ace of Cups being handed to you. Because you're so hyper-focused on everything you're focused on that you miss the surprise. You just don't even notice it. There's some surprise coming for you. And Spirit just wants you to be aware so that you can embrace it when you see it. And so that you can be grateful for it and appreciative of it instead of just like kind of bypassing it or missing it or accepting it, but not really like noticing that that was a really like amazing, beautiful gift you were, or surprise you were just given. This is a weird message. It's a long and drawn out way of saying keep focusing on what you're focusing on and some good things are coming. I'm sorry if that's annoying. Like that, I'm annoyed right now, Spirit. What's the point of sharing? I mean, I know I just made it clearly I'm annoyed. 9 of arrows in the bottom, so a little bit of stress in the past. Just worried that like the surprise won't be what you want, or there's something around that, like being disappointed in the past around surprises and feeling a little bit of stress around like, gosh, you could be unintentionally blocking some surprises. Oh gosh, that was a really big pain in my chest. Okay. So for a few people here, for any of us here, for a few people, some of us could be really like fixated on some pain or really, really terrified of pain happening again. This is in a romantic context for sure. And you're like, don't even bring up the idea of a surprise that could be romantic in context. Because there's just this fear of it not working or it being disappointment. So there's a little bit of stress around that. Which is why I think clairsentience was probably my first clair. And so sensing things, sensing energy, and also feeling and being aware of the emotional shifts within. That's also how I read. So the fact that I was like, I'm so annoyed, you know, it's okay to feel annoyed about things that happened in the past. Maybe there were things from parents that happened in the past and you don't want to repeat. And the clairaudience, the alarms are going off to let you know that don't allow fear of pain from the past and it potentially repeating again to keep you from something really, really beautiful and loving. With the Empress. There's a lot that you can create together. So continue to focus on what you're focusing on. However, if you notice that you're cycling back into fear of it not working out, or it didn't, then why would it? Or I'm still too hurt, or I still need to heal, or whatever the reason might be, Spirit is saying, we have a really good surprise coming for you. We don't want you to be annoyed hearing this. We have to tell you though, because we don't want you to be hyperfixated on what you're focusing on and also potentially past pain, that you missed this. Thanks. 21 minutes in. Thanks, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Actually, that was amazing. That was cool. I don't feel like I've had a reading like that before, where there was so many different things happening all at the same time. So you're doing great, you know. Just count your blessings. Stay open to good things coming in and it working. You've grown a lot. You deserve love, you know. Remind yourself. Okay. Gonna leave you guys there. I hope that helps. If it did, and you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to subscribe. I'd love to have you here. Like if you liked it. Comment on how it helped. Share. I just appreciate all of you guys. It's amazing. You guys are wonderful. I'm so happy to be here with you. I'm so happy you're here. 22:22 on the clock. All right. Goodbye.